Well, as the sun goes down, the speeds go up. It's almost time to get underway for this shootout for the fastest time and the best possible grid position for tomorrow's race. Let's get on with it. It's qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Hello everybody, welcome to MrRedClaw. Welcome back to Season 3 of Formula 1 24 My Team Career. Really excited to be back. And of course, for the third season, we finished Season 2 on a really low with I'm pretty sure 3 DNFs or even 4 DNFs in the latter half of the season. So really going into this just hoping for just any positives, to be honest, because we finished on a whole lot of negatives. So I'm just hoping for absolutely anything. I'll take anything that goes our way. And of course last season we finished, or was it like 7th or something, 8th, I can't really remember exactly, but of course we had that one singular point, and that's the only time we have scored so far, and it was in the first, it was in the second or third race last season, so it has been quite some time already, and we are still the slowest car, but we are closing in the gap like we have been since the start, to be honest, but it has been taking some time. I did say in the last episode that I might, help myself with that, maybe just adding in some, I guess cheating in basically some extra money or some extra resource points, just so we can kind of close the gap quicker and we can actually fight. I can increase the AI difficulty and actually fight and actually have fun that way, fighting for wins, not fighting for a couple positions away from the points. But we crossed the line in P20, so not good, but not that bad. We were fighting up there. Leclerc on pole, Russell second, and Norris in third. Let's see what we can do during the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Stroll, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Vesti, Joe, Théo Pourchaire, Magnussen, Red, Sargent, Albon, and Ralph Boschung. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So here we are lined up in a P19, some sort of penalty for someone that didn't really see who or where, but as it's lights out and away we go, we get an okay start straight to the inside line to kind of block anyone off from behind, and of course get myself the best line into T1, as we can see diving down the inside with the kind of move that AI just kind of doesn't really look for or kind of defend from. Up into P13 straight away, which is absolutely brilliant. Now we are fighting side by side with Esteban Ocon in the Alpine over there. Can we keep ahead of him? Yes, we can. Down the inside of Tsunoda. Can we get past them? Yes, we can. Up to P12 already. Really good start. Of course, using kind of mechanics that AI doesn't really look for. But that's part of the game. As we nearly go sideways over, that was really close, and really got my heart up in my mouth because really good start, and I nearly messed it up. But we did an on to lap 2. We have kind of fallen away from the cars ahead. I tried to keep it up. I had to kind of go defensive a couple times from Stroll, so that kind of ruined me closing in the gap further ahead, as we can see over here, going a defensive once again. So we are only just losing more and more time to the cars ahead, because instead of taking the proper racing lines, we have to defend from the cars behind, and because of that we are falling back more and more. Actually closed a little bit over here, but once again we're going to have to defend now the main straight from Ocon this time, who's right behind us in the Alpine. Luckily for us, we definitely do have way more battery storage than we had in, well, not really storage, but kind of like how fast we can regen the battery is just way quicker than at the start of Season 1, because now we can actually fight and actually use the battery to our advantage. You know, it's of course still nowhere near as good as it can get, but it's still a lot better, as Stroll nearly got past us, but we managed to stay ahead of him. But Ocon has gotten past us and get a warning for a slight collision. Not really anything too dramatic over there between us, just a slight luft up between the two cars over here. But of course now, as we are behind Ocon, we get DRS. So let's see what we can do with this. Hopefully close in and maybe overtake once again, because it's going to be a lot easier to try and hope for points from P11 and P12, because that could be, you know, the difference between if someone DNFs up front and you're in the points, or you're just out of the points. And we are going to see, and I'm just going absolutely flat out, as you know, as fast as this car can handle it, especially on slightly worn out tyres now, because of course we started on the softs like majority of the people did, but of course, you know, we are still on max fuel for the whole race, so we are definitely filled up quite a lot and quite heavy. But now closing in the gap on Ocon, trying to look down the inside, but we were just too far away to really want to send it too much and you know, risk crashing into Ocon, because I was in a good place and I thought, you know, let's not ruin it, because definitely did happen a couple of times last season and definitely cost us 2 more championship positions in the constructors and probably a couple in the drivers. So I thought, you know, going into this season, we still need to go in and actually fight when we can, but let's just, you know, tone it down a little bit so we aren't, you know, crashing all the time and having to replace the front wing, as we get a really nice run down the main straight on Ocon over there and actually get DRS here once again, so we can just, you know, overtake, then pull away, hopefully, because the main kind of deficit that we have to everyone else is the top line speed still. It's just absolutely crazy what they can, like what every other car can do compared to us, as Leclerc over there in the Ferrari is out of the session, a DNF, so that actually moves us up to that P10, which I said, you know, one DNF up ahead and you're in the points or you're not. But now over here, we're quite low on battery, and Ocon definitely got a good run out of the final corner, but luckily for us, we just about managed to hold it in, nearly spin the car up, and actually that costs us a good exit from turn 1 into turn 2, and Ocon actually does get past us eventually, so, you know, all that defense for nothing pretty much, as we just fail. And once again, you know, once you get these tyres heated up, they just lose so much grip so quickly. You really have to watch out after you've spun out or something. And on lap 9, a safety car, I'm not really sure, we see on the map over there into turn 1 there was Haas off, I'm pretty sure, so some sort of issue over there, some sort of crash coming together between a couple of drivers. So we come into the pits in P11 right behind Ocon, and we were going to go onto the hards. We actually meant to pit in on lap 10 anyway, and actually was going to pit in a lap before, so we are pretty much pitting in where we would have wanted to, maybe just a lap down, but still in perfect condition. And as I was saying, you really have to watch out with the tyres once they get warm, when you spin out even slightly, because afterwards you really have to, you know, watch out with the back, take, you know, a couple, you know, a sector or two to kind of cool the tyres down, then you can start pushing again, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble. And on lap 11 we are back with the safety car coming in, and we are getting ready to restart the battle over there here. And at this point, when we kind of got out, you know, pitted in, came out on P7, and I saw a couple, well, quite a lot of cars ahead of me on soft tyres. I was very confused, as well, we pitted in lap 9, and we were going to pit in lap 10 anyways, everyone on the 1 stop. And instead of that, a lot of people just switched to a 2 stop for whatever reason, as if everyone would on the from the soft would have gone onto the hards, would have just been able to finish the race. And instead of that, they went onto the softs again, or maybe from the mediums to the softs. I'm not really sure. I didn't really pay attention to that too much. But yes, basically it means all of these guys, even if they pitted from the mediums to the softs, they are definitely not going to make it to the end of on the softs. So they are going to have to pit in once again anyways, as we get really loosey-goosey out of the final corner over there, just putting on the throttle a bit too fast, trying to stay ahead of the McLaren of Piastri, but that's not really going to happen too much as he has the inside line. We try and stick it around the outside, now the inside line, but we really have to watch out. The car is still so unstable on the acceleration. It's definitely way better than in Season 1, because I remember Season 1 Bahrain, it felt like I was just driving on ice. I just had no grip in the rear under acceleration, but now it's definitely a lot better. Still a little bit more to improve, but it's still, much more just better on that corner exit. And lap 13 over here, down into P8, and now Verstappen right behind me on the hards. Of course, he isn't going to stop once again, but here he really isn't in my battle, so I just kind of let him pass without fighting too much, because he was going to get past me eventually. I was just wasting time and ruining my race for not really much gained. As on lap 14, Esteban Ocon, he was just behind me, just about to overtake me, and then suddenly his engine just went up in smoke. So that's 2 cars out already, and we are still in P9 now, of course, as Verstappen overtook us. Now at this point I'm thinking, okay, let's just keep the cars on the softs behind me, because in the worst case scenario, if everything works out, I am going to finish in this P9 spot, and it's all going to be good. As on lap 18, as we can see, people start to pit in, and from P9 we are actually going to move up to a P7 and come out right behind Norris, who was the race leader, I'm pretty sure, on the hard tyres. Now again, not going to really attack him too much, because we just don't have the pace. You're going to see how fast he pulls away, even on new tyres that haven't even been warmed up yet. And Stroll behind is the person we are fighting with for race positions actually. So keeping him behind. Lap 19, more people pit in, and so does Stroll and Magnussen, who is in the Kick Sauber this season, which is weird. I haven't really seen too many changes so far between Season 1 and Season 2 with drivers. Season 3, I guess, finally some movement in a couple teams. But on lap 20 over here, everyone pitted in. We actually move up to P4, but now the people who have pitted from the softs to the hards have now fresher tyres to me, and of course have the quicker car. So Hamilton over here, locked my race once again. I'm just going to let him pass. Lap 21 out of 29. We have 4.7 seconds to Gasly behind, and he is going to be battling Russell in a second. So I thought, my task isn't to defend from Hamilton, it's to just keep driving as quickly as possible, and hopefully, the worst we can finish right now, if we don't mess it up, is P9. But the quicker we drive, the better we do, the further up we are going to finish. And on lap 22, there's another safety car. Again, not really sure. I think into turn 1 some more action, and couldn't get it. Couldn't see in the replay what really happened over there, but absolutely crazy stuff. And because everyone just pitted in a couple laps before, no one's going to pit in. But I thought at this point, well, we're going to bunch up anyway, so I am going to be at a disadvantage of about 5 to 10 laps on everyone else, because of me pitting in on lap 10 and everyone else pitting in on lap 18 or 19, so that's not going to be good for me. So I thought, well, the worst I could have finished before would have been a P9 anyways, so instead I'm just going to pit in for a fresh set of softs. At the lap 25, the safety car is going to come in, which means we are going to have a couple laps to try and get back up as far as possible and hope that these fresh set of softs are better than the close to 8-9 lap hard tyres that everyone else has on. And a green flag, and here starts the action. We get past Gasly, brilliant stuff over there, up to P7, now right behind Alonso into this tricky left-hander section. We've definitely seen overtakes happen here before in real life, and we are going to see some overtakes happen over here in the game as we get past Alonso up into P6. Absolutely brilliant stuff over there. Next on the target list, Russell in the Mercedes. Still have to watch out because we aren't that good in a straight line, so we might have the grip in the corners, but you know, these guys can still definitely fight me for the position in the straights under DRS, under acceleration. Maybe not the acceleration, but going down the inside once again when we got past Alonso, getting past Russell this time in the Mercedes up to P5. So I'm pretty sure that's where we were just before the safety car. So next up, Hamilton, who's fighting with Perez closely. Can we get past either of them? Can we get onto the podium in this race? I think the race victory is a bit too far away, but on to lap 28, 2 laps to go. What else can we do from this P5 spot? Hamilton, Perez fighting, losing time to the cars ahead. Can we find a space to get past one or either two of them? DRS activated, really good launch from the soft tyres, 3 wide into turn 4, and we get past both of them up into P3, and Norris 2.2 ahead, Verstappen 3 ahead. We closed a little bit of them, but now my tyres have actually started to go off, so I knew that, you know, P2, P1 wouldn't be a chance. What I had to do is focus in on finishing in P3 now, because my tyres are starting to go off. I really just have to watch out after myself now in this spot. I'm not attacking anymore, I'm defending, and out of the final corner we get an okay go ahead, cross the line in P3, just 2/10 in front of Hamilton, and finally some more points, and just not that, a podium and a driver of the day. This just couldn't have been a better start to season 3 if I wanted.
Take a bow, at last, a winner in Formula 1.
Well, all that off-season work clearly paying off here today, Crofty. A brilliant way to start the season with a solid victory. It's a real good confidence boost as well, and you feel like that's going to really propel them forward through to the next race coming up.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving that they're a force to be reckoned with out on the track.
So Norris wins from Verstappen, and we finally get a podium. Now, not even that, 15 points. That is literally 99% of the points we have scored so far in this game, which is absolutely crazy. And it's not like we were even just like, you know, got lucky, but well, we definitely did. But we still had the pace. We were only 2/10 behind on the best lap from Verstappen, so we still, you know, did what we needed to do at the right time. And especially that last stint on the softs, that is just what made this race absolutely amazing. You know, if we would have, you know, finished in that P9 that we were kind of looking to kind of finish in before all of the safety cars, still would have been amazing. 2 points, just, you know, absolutely good. But to finish in P3 from P19 on the grid, you know, the 2 safety cars were really, really well timed for us, and the fact that, you know, everyone else, quite a lot of people went onto the softs instead of just going on to hards to go to the end, definitely helped us a lot. But, you know, have to be at the right space at the right time, and we definitely did that finally after so many mistakes during the kind of final 5 races of season 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.